Welcome to After the Sirens. Today we're delving into a side of World War II you rarely hear about. Homemade weapons that were not only imagined, but, actually deployed in battle. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to the channel and comment below with your thoughts on these forgotten innovations, because every story we uncover here is a piece of history worth preserving. These are the weapons crafted in basements, barns, and hidden workshops, rudimentary, dangerous, but sometimes deadly effective. They weren't made in factories or polished in arsenals, yet they played decisive roles in resistance movements, frontline skirmishes, and even in shaping some battles' outcomes. By the end of this video, you'll not only know what these weapons were, but also how necessity forced creativity, and perhaps you'll gain insights into resourceful thinking applicable even today. Many World War II soldiers and civilians turned to homemade weapons when supply lines failed or conventional arms were unavailable. As the war raged across multiple continents, shortages of rifles, grenades and explosives created opportunities for ingenuity. Resistance groups in occupied Europe often faced heavily armed enemy forces while armed with nothing but raw materials. In France, members of the Maquis crafted pipe bombs and improvised flamethrowers using fuel cans, wires and hand tools. These were not polished devices, they were dangerous to both user and target, yet their psychological impact was enormous. The ability to strike swiftly and then vanish instilled fear far beyond their destructive capacity. Modern survivalists can learn from this approach. Understanding the basics of resource improvisation, material selection and tactical deployment is crucial when standard tools aren't available. Improvised explosives were a last resort, but often decisive in sabotage missions. The Polish and Yugoslav resistance famously used homemade explosives to derail trains and destroy supply depots. These devices relied on chemistry knowledge, mechanical triggers, and a careful balance of materials, sometimes made from fertilizer and common household chemicals. While this level of improvisation carries extreme risks, the principle of creating an effect with limited resources is applicable beyond warfare. Learning about controlled strategic use of improvised solutions encourages creative problem-solving even in non-combat contexts. Molotov cocktails and simple incendiary devices shaped urban warfare and guerrilla strategies. Molotov cocktails became symbolic of civilian defiance and urban warfare. They were crafted from bottles, rags and flammable liquids and used extensively during the defense of Moscow and by partisan fighters in Eastern Europe. The key to their effectiveness wasn't just fire, it was unpredictability. Their presence forced heavily armoured vehicles to slow, reroute or even retreat. For history enthusiasts and tactical students alike, studying these examples reveals lessons about asymmetrical warfare. Sometimes the simplest tool, deployed cleverly, can offset overwhelming firepower. Homemade firearms and modified rifles highlight the resourcefulness of individuals under pressure. In addition to explosives and incendiaries, there were fully functional, often crude firearms designed in home workshops. Resistance fighters in Norway and France manufactured pistols, submachine guns and rifles with minimal machinery, often using scrap metal and woodworking tools. Their effectiveness was not always in direct firepower, but in enabling surprise attacks, ambushes and sabotage missions. Understanding these creations provides insight into the mindset of improvisation, adaptability and engineering ingenuity under extreme stress. Lessons from homemade weapons can inform modern survival and self-reliance thinking. While no one should attempt to recreate these devices, studying them provides valuable knowledge about innovation under pressure. Recognizing the principles behind improvised tools, using available materials, understanding function over form, and exploiting psychological effects can inspire solutions for survivalists, engineers, and military historians alike. For instance, creating makeshift tools for emergency situations, learning alternative ways to achieve objectives with minimal resources, and fostering creative problem-solving are all modern applications of these historical lessons. The homemade weapons of World War II are more than curiosities. They are testaments to human ingenuity, desperation and courage in the face of overwhelming odds. They remind us that history is not only shaped by generals and armies, but by those who innovate under constraint. If you found this exploration fascinating, subscribe to After the Sirens for more in-depth history content. Comment with your thoughts or your favorite improvised weapon story, and share this video to help preserve the hidden lessons of history. Every piece of knowledge we uncover together keeps these remarkable stories alive.